So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're gonna be doing random opinions about random things. I started doing this series because I felt like the unpopular opinions were like kind of hard to come up with, trying to be like controversial per se. But random opinions are things that some people agree with, some people don't. They're just kind of my daily thoughts throughout the day when I'm scrolling on social media. So I just put them all in one little video and put it out for y'all. Just a reminder, opinions are not facts, they are opinions. I lose subscribers every single time I post one of these videos, and I'm like, dang, what did it this time? Some people announce that they're unsubscribing, some people don't. Hey, it is what it is. You will be back, babe. You love it here. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my first opinion is the sensitivity of Gen Z is a result of No Child Left Behind. I remember hearing about No Child Left Behind when I was a kid. One of my aunties is a middle school teacher and she was telling me about it when I was young. And honestly, I think this is something that had good intentions, but the results were going to be inevitable. So just looking at the school systems, if you are passing kids to the next grade level, regardless if they are proficient in reading or writing, of course, generations of kids to come are going to have a lot more issues, because what you're saying is we're just going to get them by. We're going to promote them into their adult life. That way they've accomplished what everyone else has. But you're not realizing that you're setting up kids to believe that they have mastered different aspects of education, let alone personal development, that they actually haven't. So then when they get to adulthood, you see how much more they struggle because they really can't read or write, or because they're not truly equipped to be held responsible for their shortcomings in the real world. And it really comes back to the parents, because I'm not going to hold a kid accountable for what adults have created, but I truly think the whole No Child Left Behind is a hindrance. Leave them kids behind if they need more time. We're putting so much pressure on teachers to do the jobs of parents, and I see the results every day. I know some of y'all have seen that viral TikTok of the 7th grade teacher who was saying that the kids in his class weren't even doing 7th grade math. Like, they were at a way lower level, but they get passed on to the next grade due to No Child Left Behind, as well as, let's be real, teachers are tired and fatigued. And then the parents aren't doing anything. The parents are sitting at home. They're not really raising their kids. And I get it. Like, it's hard to be a parent, but you can't offload your responsibilities on someone else just because. And we are seeing the results. We are seeing the results because more than half of Generation Z has become adults. Like, really, can you believe an 18-year-old was born in 2005? And the No Child Left Behind Act was signed by former President Bush back in 2002. And so as you can see, this is the result. And in 2002, I was 5 years old. That was the beginning of Gen Z starting kindergarten. Being born in 97, we are the oldest of Gen Z, and this act went into place back when we were first starting primary education. So we're seeing that giving everybody a trophy isn't the answer. I guess my last point is that I think the reason why Gen Z gets called sensitive isn't solely because we call out everything or we're quick to say how we feel, because there's good and bad in that, but I think it's because what they did was coddle our generation, which I said may have had good intentions, but removing that aspect of being left behind because a kid is missing the mark only has created a generation of young people who feel entitled to be included in every conversation, in every space, and in everything, to the point where they will use mental health as an excuse, sexuality, race, all of these things that are valid excuses, but we all know that they don't always apply. But because you can't leave anybody behind for any reason, it's easy to say that I'm being left out because of XYZ, when in reality, maybe you just don't meet the mark. It's easy to say they didn't pick me because of blah, 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 when in reality, maybe you weren't just what they were looking for. I could go on and on and on about this, but as much as I do get the point of the No Child Left Behind Act, I think the consequences are starting to show in real time. And yes, maybe I'm too young to really understand all of this, but this is just my theory. My next opinion is Bruno Mars should be considered legendary status. If we're talking about talents, if we're talking about hits, if we're talking about even lack of scandal, he exemplifies a classic legend. I don't understand why Bruno Mars isn't talked about as much. I know he's probably a more quiet celebrity, or maybe he just does his thing and doesn't bother anyone, but I feel like he doesn't get the worship that he deserves. And worship, I'm using that figuratively, not literally. Between the 2010s and now, he's been so consistent, so versatile, and so good at every song. And I'm only saying this because he's actually still in my Apple Music playlist, but I never really hear about him, even though he's given us a lot of hits over the years with and without some of our favorite artists. I feel like he's one of those talents that come every so often, and I don't get why he's not talked about enough. I mean, to me, having 15 Grammys, 5 diamond singles, hello? Like, are you there? Like, can you hear me now? Good. Y'all remember that commercial? But for real, I think he's a very good performer and he doesn't really have that much controversy, at least not to my knowledge. Someone's gonna tell me something that I missed. But in terms of a pop star or just singers being world renowned, I feel like he gets left out of a lot of conversations just because he's not as active. But looking at his discography, he's definitely kind of legendary. He's one of the few mainstream artists that does literally everything. Sing, dance, produce, write his own music, play his own instruments, but is rarely given his flowers by people. So Bruno, I'm here to give you your flowers. My next opinion is the "as a woman" excuse is played out. Some of y'all love to, as a woman, you shouldn't be saying this, and as a woman, you should stand by your fellow woman, as well as a woman, I would never blah, 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 blah. Shut up, okay? Shut up. Shut up. If we're gonna tell Black women in particular that we don't have to be race loyal to Black men and we should date out, which I definitely agree with, we should also be telling Black women that we don't have to have race loyalty to Black women at all times. Because some of y'all do and say the darndest things, but to hold some of y'all accountable, that is the problem. To say, hey sis, you're tripping right now, you need to hone on in, is, oh my God, you're anti-women, you're so male identified, you're a misogynist, how dare you be a woman and say this about another woman? What the hell do you mean? Do y'all not have mothers growing up that held y'all accountable for certain things? So why is it that a lot of women feel super attacked by other women holding them accountable? I do understand the approach of it sounds like it's coming from a place of a man's mindset, but I think some of y'all also forget that not everybody agrees with the stuff that you do, and that does not make them anti-woman. And I think I said this before, but let me reiterate because the comments. I mean, at the end of the day, I have real boobs and a real uterus, and I know what my chromosomes say. So if I'm a woman and you're a woman, why would I hate you? I feel like the "as a woman" excuse should only be said about things that are very exclusive to women. Like if I make a comment about somebody not showing up to work because they're on their period and I say, no, she should still come to work, then it makes sense to say, well, as a woman, don't you understand why she wouldn't come to work right now? Because woman to woman, I do get it and I should. But to say, as a woman, you shouldn't be speaking on Sexyy Red or whoever we're gonna insert because it's always somebody new. Oh, yes, I should. What does being a woman really mean? Why does that restrict me from having commentary about my fellow woman? Doesn't it make more sense for me to speak on her versus a man? Because I don't agree with a lot of things men say on the internet, and they've been making podcasts. They're influencing teenage boys to completely hate and disrespect women. But when we have our woman-to-woman conversations, there's a lot of women that hate hearing the truth from women, even when it's not coming from a place of attack or a place of hate. I think there's just some people that need a better excuse, and I'm over this lack of accountability. There's a lot of women on the internet that are grasping for a way to counter any argument towards a lot of these celebrities or a lot of these ideologies that women have put out, and everyone thinks that all women are supposed to be on the same accord about a lot of things that are literally stupid. Why would I agree with you that a man should off rip spend $500 on a date because you're a woman and a man has to prove himself? I'm not against it, but I'm also not gonna sit here and say I agree with that either. Like there's a lot of ideologies that women keep putting out in regards to dating or what we deserve or whatever, and simply not agreeing comes with, well, as a woman, you should blah, 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 blah. It's kind of tired. I just want some people to accept that not every woman is going to agree with you, and she doesn't have to, and you shouldn't guilt shame a woman to agree with your nonsense just because we all have the same parts. Sorry, I cannot. My next opinion is Sexyy Red should be dropping a lip line of only red lipsticks of different shades. And I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like it would have made so much more sense for her to have a collection of different red lipsticks that appeal to different shades of people. So she could have the reds that fit better with lighter skin tones and then the reds that fit better with darker skin tones. That would have been so much more poppin' to me versus coming out with the lip glosses with all of the raunchy and disgusting names. I feel like when we talk about what's marketable, we all agree that lately it's been a certain look and a certain type of artist being promoted. I've said that about a million times, right? Y'all be tired of me, but it's okay, you be coming back. But why don't we ever talk about like what's really marketable outside of that? I don't think it's marketable for her lip glosses to have these names. I just believe that it is definitely on brand for her. So of course they're going to sell, and being that she's had this idea in the works for a long time, people are going to anticipate and purchase because they like her brand. But the longevity that will last her past her current hype will be something that's still on brand, but more marketable to consumers. Because to me personally, I'm not buying something called chlamydia and putting it on on my lips. Like, I don't care. But if there was a red lipstick that came out in many different shades, similar to how Fenty Beauty rolled out their foundations of many different shades, then it appeals to a wider consumer base and it still promotes the red aspect of her brand. Look, I went to college and I studied marketing, so I'm just speaking from my opinion and I guess my professional expertise. She can do what she wants, but I think that it would have hit so much harder, and hopefully nobody takes my idea because I'll just do it my damn self. Another random opinion about her that I wanted to add is that nobody is mad at Sexyy Red for making it. Nobody is mad that a hood girl has a platform. It's like people are grasping for any reason to challenge why people are calling out her presence in entertainment. There's been several raunchy rappers. There's been a multitude of ghetto people who are famous, whether they're in music or comedy or whatever. So no, nobody's mad that a hood girl is popular. I always see the comments, y'all just mad because a hood girl made it. Y'all just mad because a hood girl exists and she's getting her own. No, people are judging it based off of, is this really talent? Because trust me, if she was making songs with hard bars and let's just say she was as good as Nicki Minaj or Lil Kim or somebody, people would be standing behind her even if she is from the hood. So no, it's not about being from the hood. It's not about being ghetto. It's not about being ratchet. It has everything to do with the fact that it's just kind of gross. And I think people's drawback is more connected to sometimes being uncomfortable about how nasty her lyrics and her presence can be, and not because she's from the north side of St. Louis or wherever. Y'all will correct me. I just had to say that. My next opinion is I definitely was in favor of UPS workers receiving a pay raise, and the reason for their strike. I obviously was very much in favor of the writer's strike, as many of those professionals need to have a livable wage and or salary. And I feel like people underestimate how much delivery drivers work and how strenuous their job is. Whether it's sorting packages inside that slave ship-like facility or delivering the packages to consumers, driving the trucks, whatever, people should be able to have a decent work environment and a decent pay, because we are all in the era of consumerism and hyper consumerism. And with perks such as Amazon Prime, same day shipping, if it's not going through Amazon, it's going through UPS. So you have air drivers who are delivering your same day or next day package, and we have consumers that want their stuff, and the middleman between businesses and consumers are the delivery drivers. So I think a lot of people have a lot of ill will towards mail carriers and people who do package delivery, but those are very much essential workers. We can't get our bills in the mail without them. We can't receive all of these packages from our online shopping obsessions without the carriers. And I do think a raise and better working conditions was definitely a necessity. Maybe the trade-off is higher shipping prices, but these corporations have billions of dollars. Greed is really the problem, not money. So I'm happy that UPS workers were able to satisfy their desires through their strike, and I think people should be a lot more grateful of delivery services and workers. My next opinion is rap music is down 40% because we are all catching on to the gimmicks and the charade, to the camouflaging of talent, and basically everything I've said for the past 2 to 3 years on this channel. And I'm sorry, I'm going to beat my chest like Godzilla because I've been probably one of the only people on YouTube that has been hammering this music topic for the last 2 years on my channel. I've told people from jump, yo, a lot of the stuff is not lasting because it's not real talent. There's a reason why we can look at nostalgia of artists from before, and even if they were rapping about violence, even if they were rapping about sex, they had talent to do it, so they lasted. But now we always say, oh, well, why is it that people are so mad at City Girls or Cardi B or whomever when there's older rappers that have done the same thing? And we say the same thing for men. Why are we calling out Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo and Lil Durk when you have older rappers who have done the same thing, such as 50 Cent or Ja Rule or even Diddy? Because all of those people were real artists. Maybe not Diddy, but just saying. They weren't, I slipped up on the opportunity and got lucky. They weren't, I went viral on social media, now I'm a star. They weren't, I'm just half-assing this and hopefully it works. No. They were actually talented. I'm 50-50 about how I feel about the downfall of rap music. You know, I'm pursuing music, so of course it's alarming because you're looking at the market that you're entering. But at the same time, it's right on time because now people are going to shift. People are going to only put their dollars into something that truly represents what they want out of a music artist. And for a lot of these people who are thriving off of gimmicks and shock value, we shall see. We shall see. And when we do see, I will be right back here to tell you, I told you so. Yes, I'm a hater. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm bitter. Yes, I'm jealous. My rap career is not going anywhere. All of these girls are better than me. Yes, all of that is 1,000% true. Let me satisfy y'all. But one thing I've never told y'all is a goddamn lie about what is really happening. Regardless of my life, this is the facts. Rap music is down 40% because people are catching on to the gimmicks. We shall see. My next opinion is the world is indeed becoming way more mixed race. And I definitely noticed this during the NBA draft. I actually don't watch basketball. It's like a revengeful tactic of everybody who expected me to play basketball because I'm 5'10" and I've been this height since like high school. I've never dribbled a ball and never will. Football me, please. And by the way, go Eagles, still undefeated. Super Bowl champs coming. Let's put it into fruition. But anyway, I did catch one of the drafts because I do keep up with a lot of sports. And this year and last year, a lot of those men were mixed race. And if you show that in contrast to NBA drafts of yesteryear, that really wasn't the case. And then I saw a TikTok of NFL wives and their girlfriends basically talking about their man, and I'll play that. And I really noticed more white girlfriends and wives versus black ones. Now, I'm not here to talk about people's dating preferences. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is there are a lot of interracial relationships at the forefront of visibility. I'm not sure if there are more interracial relationships in general, but as for what's visible are interracial relationships. And of those, more times than not, it's a black father or a black man and a white mother or a white woman, which produces multiracial children. And of course, people have been mixed race for years, but now more than ever, I do see it a lot more. And I only use sports as an example because sports is very visible. The NBA and the NFL have worldwide appeal, so a lot of those athletes are very large public figures. And I think a lot of what black women have said about relationship dynamics has been true all this time. Like, we've gotten to the point where as black women, I don't think that we really care if a black guy is dating a non-black girl. It is what it is. And I feel like a lot of those black men that do it do have a lot of self-hate issues, as well as their careers are in proximity to white people. So it just happens. And oftentimes this is the result. I mean, Kanye West literally rapped about it in his song and said, and when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. And as ironic as that is coming from Mr. Kanye West, it's still somewhat factual. Like, I hate that black women have been guilt tripped into being mute about reality in so many things, so many conversations, colorism, racism, everything, texturism, you name it, everything. But in this case, about the reality of a lot of black men's dating choices and how colorism and racism has been a huge determining factor over time. And I still will stand by the fact that most black men marry black women. I see that. However, multiracial dating isn't just black people and white people. That's just the biggest example. Nonetheless, I think that definitely by the year 2050, like the statistics say, the average American will look mixed race. And I'm not even sure who's at fault or if there is a need to blame anybody, but I think the talking points that black women have led with have always made sense. The history between black people and white people in America, to me, is too recent for your bloodline to be going to your oppressor just because you've reached a certain level of financial success. So what I am saying is that date whoever you want, but the dating preferences shouldn't shift just because there's money involved with you now. Be genuine about your preference and don't let your preference be a trauma response to childhood nonsense or what is stereotypically expected of you just because of your profession. You don't have to be race loyal, definitely go where you're celebrated, but I think a lot of black women have seen through the nonsense of a lot of black men's preference, and we're just gonna have to let it play out and see what happens. My last opinion is, between Chrisean Rock and her sister TESEHKI, we made the wrong sister famous. Chrisean Rock clearly isn't the sister that should have been famous. Now, when it comes to TESEHKI, I'm only judging off of what I've been watching on the show Baddies. So I'm all caught up on Baddies. Is y'all watching? Okay, I'm actually waiting for this Sunday's episode because I want to see TESEHKI fight Chrisean's minions because they're both clowns, okay? Both of her minions, both of them girls don't even look like they could fight each other. And you could tell from the preview, the one John, she was definitely scared. Why was she chewing gum? You know what? I might have to start doing Baddies reviews because I be having so much to say. But anyway, TESEHKI actually has good music. She can dance. She truly can sing. She seems a little bit more level-headed in terms of how she reacts to conflict. And I think that's why Chrisean and some of their other family members are mad. They did not expect TESEHKI to be well liked from this Baddies season. I don't think they expected her to kind of receive positive commentary about her presence on the show. Now, addressing the elephant in the room, which is the allegations of her predatorial ways. That's the best way I can say it on YouTube. And I did not want to talk about her without mentioning this. I think that it's very alarming that she hasn't denied these allegations. So I'm gonna go with there being truth to it, but I really don't want to confirm or deny that on YouTube because it's just too risky at this point. But I think it's ironic how once she started getting recognition, literally her followers have gone up tremendously just from the first episode. She's definitely over 500,000 followers. Like, Come on now, people like her. But now her family wants to really hammer it to everybody about what she did back when she was a kid. And I do think people need to be held accountable for any of those types of actions. So they're not wrong. The family's not wrong. But I do think it's coming from a place of let's really try to kick her down because she's on her way up. And like I said, they have the right. If she did that, they have the right. Can't even be mad at them. But I do think it's very ironic. TESEHKI obviously is the sister that should have been famous for her talent, but also her personality. But we've only seen a few episodes on Baddies. So, you know, let me just wait and see because I might be biting my tongue soon. But I do think TESEHKI could overtake CHRISEAN's popularity, being that a lot of people have withdrawn their support from CHRISEAN, rightfully so. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, stream my song Let's Go. It is out on all platforms, and y'all know my song Rich Auntie is dropping this month. Are y'all ready for Rich Auntie? I'm gonna preview that at the end of this video. Let me know what y'all think. Comment, you know, be ready for when it drops because we coming crazy. I know how we coming, man. All right. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all. Let's go.
Your man told me I'm pressure. Time too hot, stay out my desert. Humbling joints, it's my pleasure. I'm in the game and y'all just redshirt. New freestyle to your checklist. Pull it to your block like I play Tetris. Quiet hoe, let me finish my sentence. 10 daddy see like I'm from Memphis. Going big like I'm from Texas. Life is being blessed in exes. Made that boy make me his bench press. Now he breathless. Green, white, green when I be reppin'. Nardo wicked when we steppin'. Jerky niggas I'm rejecting. Make me teach your ass a lesson. I'ma call him when I need some money. I ain't tryna wait. Mansion in the motherland, bitch. Leave it by the gate. My brother counting money up. My sis driving the getaway. It's Queen Chioma trigger, cause you know I make it ricochet. Told y'all it's a ceremony. Every day a cabaret. Get out my way, I'm out the way. They say I'm out the ordinary. All my favorite cousins up, they round the way and on the way. Had to come to auntie house, cause last time I did 20 carats. I'ma call him when I need some money. I ain't tryna wait. Mansion in the motherland, bitch. Leave it by the gate. Call my favorite cousins up, they round the way and on the way. Had to come to auntie house, cause last time I did 20K. Yo, Chioma, they don't know who they messing with.